Welcome to the CharjrRyuki channel, where gaming and nachos are law. So sit back, relax, and let's dip in.
Hey guys, and welcome to the vlog. Today I thought about, with a little help, inspiration. What gives you inspiration to keep going, to keep doing what you're doing, whether it's writing, making movies or videos, or streaming, hunting, sport, anything like sports, anything. What keeps you going? What inspires you? What or who inspires you to keep doing what you're doing? Now, I don't know everything. I want to make that clear. I don't know everything. Because who doesn't? Who does? No one does. But what I have sitting behind me is something that I've been working on for quite a while, and I've brought it up several times. What I have here is 4 notebooks. Shut up, phone, for interrupting me. 4 notebooks. And they all have basically something I've been working on for a while. My book that I've been working on. And I thought, seeing how this vlog's going to be about inspiration, I thought I would talk about what inspired me. Well, I wouldn't say when I started writing, it wasn't, something like a book I've read or a movie I've seen or something that just, something clicked and I just started writing. No, it was basically I was told, hey, do something. Because I was sitting at school, study hall, had nothing to do. I basically read all the books in the library, including the dictionaries. That's how bored I was. And all of those boring books. Yes, I've read all of those. And I actually have some here for writing purposes. So I started writing a story. And it had a pretty big title. And it was called The Adventures of Charge Jr. and Friends. Something about the dark stone and evil prevails. The stone constantly brings back the wielder back to life. So no matter how many times you kill him or her, that person comes back to life. And that person, every time that person comes back to life, they come back stronger. But it also takes another form. If used correctly and properly, the stone can be used for good, and it takes the form of either a shield or a sword. And I ain't saying that, emphasizing to the Pokemon games. No, I'm saying that because that was the idea that I had when I was writing it. And why none of the stories, including that one, got published, well, when I started writing, I was in junior high. So, yeah, woo! Imagination was in the clouds, and let me tell you, there are some scenes that I've written in that book, especially the very first one, will be deemed hentai. So, that's why. But another reason, after writing all of this, and my friends at the time, especially one of them, had helped me out and come up with some, read what I had, and even came up with his own ideas and actually helped me write it in some sort of way. And I kind of picked a story here or two, and I came up with another set of characters, and I started writing another complete different story about a teenager and being a werewolf, being basically getting an interest into a school of magic And then the second part that I never got to finish was some sort of destiny of being the werewolf of destruction. He was the red werewolf or crimson werewolf of destruction. I never got to actually finish that story. But I've written some other ones that were, like, say, take me, a normal person, I guess to most of you would assume, bonding with a soul of an ancestor or someone from another realm of existence, and then all of a sudden having powers, or then realizing, holy crap, I have my own abilities that are quite dangerous and ruthless and can't tell who's friend or foe and all this such and that. Phone, I'm going to smash you. But with this book here that I am holding, I pulled inspiration from a variety of things. A variety of things. Not just movies or martial art movies or anime. From either horror or mystery to martial arts to comedy. I looked through everything. And for those who don't know, I watched a crap ton of anime. I've watched so much anime that I can't even decide what the next anime to watch. That's how much anime I've watched. I would probably say 500 or so different animes I've watched. I can't name them right off the bat, but that's how much anime I've watched. Movies that I have here in my house, I have at least 500 or more. I watch a lot of movies. Okay? And a lot of the movies I have, especially when it comes to anime or pertain to my interests, are comedy, action, horror, and mystery. Which I also hold a lot of books and stories that are all fantasy as well. But one that I do have, that I have actually in the shelf here, I have a book on, give me a second, for mythology by Edith Hamilton. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, I read constantly. I'm a bit of a bookworm as well because I read more than one book at once. But this one, if you want to know how I started writing this one night I came home on a weekend, and usually kind of like after work kind of thing, I would spend a couple hours, go walk around in Walmart, bug them people because they always thought I was stealing stuff and I wasn't. But not emphasizing anything, so don't take that the wrong way, is that those people in there would accuse me just as soon as I enter the door of stealing something. So, basically, I picked up this notebook, similar to one of the other ones I have, and in the middle of the night, just for some reason, usually if I had something on my mind, I would lay it down right next to my bed and with a pen next to it, and I would sit there and... But that night, remember it like it was yesterday, the moon was shining in my room, because I was living with my parents at the time, and I got this idea in my head, just this, all of a sudden, this idea, and just... I didn't get up and turn the light on. Only thing I had was the moonlight, and I just picked this notebook, grabbed a pen, and started writing. And this is like, I'm going to read like the very first thing I started writing in. The very first thing that I written, because I have it circled. How I had this starting is the main character was in a dream, and this was him like narrating it, kind of running. I'm running? Why? Why am I running? He thought to himself as he turned toward an alleyway. I shouldn't run. I should fight. not to protect myself, but to protect my... And that was it. That's kind of how it started. But with this, I also, just off the top of my head, wrote a prologue to this, like a beginning. Not too much detail, actually really hardly at all any detail. And the characters that I had were the main character, his brother, and his wife. They were sitting down at dinner, blah, 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 this and that. Very short conversations, nothing too literal, just very short conversations. And I got an idea, and I thought about it, and I was like, well, I have this person's email. Maybe I should send this prologue to them and see what they think, and then maybe they can give me advice. And that person whose email that I had, no, I will not share it with you, is Vic Mignogna, or Mignonia, how he would ask you to pronounce it, but you can say it either way. When I met him last year, I told him this, that like 10 or so years ago, I started writing a book, and off the top of my head on my computer, I wrote a prologue to it. And I got the idea to send it to you, and I didn't expect to get a reply. And he just stared at me with his mouth dropped, his jaw dropped, and he just looked at me and just completely listened to what I said. And if you didn't see the little short vlog at CompiCon from last year, that's his signature in the very first notebook. Yes, I was bored, so that's a drawing of a dragon that I drew. Not really the best one that I drew, but you get my point. And he asked me if I finished it, and I said no, I'm still working on a scene between the main character and his girlfriend, which I'm still working on because I want to make sure I at least get it somewhat right before I start typing this up. But that alone inspired me to keep going, to make the conversations between the characters a little bit longer, more detail, because that's one of the things that he suggested, that I make the characters, like the conversation between the characters, a little longer and a little bit more interesting, a little bit more exciting or in depth, or you know what I mean by that. And another thing too is that I get told a lot that I think too much, because I'm always thinking. The wheels are always turning. I'm always thinking of this book, or what video I'm going to record, or what I'm going to stream, especially now, and this and that. But you'd expect me to say inspiration from, like, my family, right? Well, when my family found out that I started writing, they really didn't like it all that much. So, just like when they found out about me doing videos, they really didn't like that much. They kind of thought it was just stupid. But my friends actually supported it. So you can say my friends who helped me out and actually came up with ideas for me to think about, to come up with scenes and to write and whatever to make it sound good. And as well as the variety of books from fantasy to mythology to astrology to all these different books, from horror to fantasy to mystery to action, from movies to anime. That's where I pulled not just information to think about and bounce off of and make my own. Because when you got something like this, you can't just copy it. You got to make it your own. And you'll also, along the way, when you feel like talking about it, like I did 2 years before, when talking about my book with somebody, they suggested that I'm doing too much for my book, saying I should dumb it down and that I should dumb down the characters. Why? I spent several years on it already. Why would I need to dumb the characters down for just one person to say that? One person told me that it's too bloody, because there's not too long after the main character wakes up, he gets into a fight. Not intentional, but he gets into a fight. I ain't gonna tell you who he fights or why, but he gets into a fight. But the thing is, guys, whatever you want to do, whether it's writing your own book, your own little short story, or what videos you like to do, whether it's cooking as well. If you like to cook and you like to start your own cooking channel to maybe move up when you get more popular and you come up with your own show and your own idea, that's the whole point. You start out small and you keep getting bigger. You keep finding things that give you inspiration to keep going. Whether it's your family or your friends or your favorite TV show or an actor or actress or even musician or like music as well, that you just feels like it just calms you down. It just helps you relax. It fires you up to keep going. But basically, it follows with what I've said in an earlier vlog. Whatever your goal is, whatever you want to do in life, whether you want to make videos, to maybe in the future make movies, or even help make movies by writing, coming up with a story for even a TV show like Supernatural, and have it blow up, do really good, or something that you've made, whether it be art, cooking, music, writing, sports, anything, whatever inspires you. Heck, it could be even a YouTuber that inspires you to keep going. The point is, do what you want to do. Because every day, you're going to find something or read something that's going to inspire you. To do something good. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Peace.